Good morning, everybody. It says I am live. So let's see what the YouTube says. It says upcoming. And it says we're live. Yay, we did it right. How can that be? All messages. Okay, let's do a little share. Create a post. Live. Come say hi. Good Easter morning. Yeah, we may not get a lot of people on here today because it is Easter, and that's just fine. That's just fine. That's just fine. And good morning. Oh, we got a couple people. And there's one more place I need to share this. Right over there. Nope. I have to copy it, not share it. Copy. And then I go over here. You guys know me. One of these days, I'll figure this all out. Gotta go over to we've got a group for this. Boy, where did it go? There's the bingo one. I can put it in the bingo one. One of these days, we're going to have bingo again. We are. I got big plans. But that's not the one I was looking for. That's the one I'm looking for. Boom. Okay. That's all the places I share it. Because nobody else. I could put it over here. In Rad Girls. Wake them all up. Ha. Well, I know Miss Dana won't watch because she takes Sundays off. Hello, Miss Deb. Hello. Okay, close this. Go here. Do that. Go back to where we're supposed to be. And get to the comments. Hello. Miss Deb is testing a pattern for a blanket. Nice. Okay. Hi, everybody. Okay. I don't know where you guys are all at. This week, let me get my pattern. My pattern's right here. We did the ribs and boxes stitch pattern. Did you guys get your box? Did you get your block done? Well, you guys know that I am always on the ball with all of my stuff. So you know I got mine done, right? Still on the needles. Well, I have the last 2 rows of the border. So that's pretty darn close to being done. I stayed up very late last night working on this. And it seems a little short, but I measured. I measured it twice. I'm going to measure it one more time. But it does seem a little short. But it said to end after, row 1. And if I'd have gone another round, it would have been way too big. So I can always just do another row of the border stitch, the extra border that I'm doing. I think it looks funny. It does not look like the picture. I mean, it does, but not at the end part. Come on. And it might just be because this particular yarn, my loop on my needles is giving me fits. It might just be because this particular yarn is a little denser to work with than the other yarn I'm used to. Yeah, it is not. And if I'd have gone another round, it would have been way too big. No, it's fine. By the time I get my last 2 rows of the border stitch, it'll be okay. Of course, I made a mistake. Of course. That's a given now. And I have no idea how. Well, now I don't see the mistake. Maybe I didn't make a mistake. Is this the front or the back? This is the front. Oh, yeah, there's the mistake. You know what? The back looks better than the front on this one. I might just flip it over. I saw something the other day on TV, and it was so true. I laughed out loud. Okay, so here's the back of mine. There's the back, and it looks pretty darn good. It looks a little funny right here because of the border. Here's the front. And you can clearly see there's a mistake right there. Somehow I ended up with a knit row instead of a purl row. And there's another mistake. You guys know how much I enjoy pointing out my mistakes to you. Somehow I must be another one of those knit row, purl row mistake thingies right there. But you can't see it at all. You can't see that at all on the other side. So this is going to be my front on this one. But this is definitely the right side because there's my marker. But this is going to be my right side when I put it together. Row 1. Row 1 says wrong side. I'm definitely going to use this as the right side on this one. But it just looks small. But it may be because I'm used to seeing these blocks after I've done the 3 rows of crochet around. That could be why it looks so small. But I'm definitely using this as the right side because it definitely looks better. Oh, box, ribs and boxes. I'm going to look at a picture of, yes, knitting is mysterious. But I have a picture of the Miss Cheryl. She's so sweet. She does every one of these ahead of time so I can see what my stuff is supposed to look like. And it is supposed to look like this. It's supposed to look like this. Well, mine's going to look like that. And guess what? The knitting police are not going to show up at my door. And it's a darn good thing, too. I'll tell you what, because they would not be happy. I'd be going to knitting jail. Boy, I am really going to have to pay attention next week. Wowza. Wowza. When I was in 2nd grade, I went to Catholic school with the nuns. 1st and 2nd grade. But my 2nd grade teacher was much, much stricter. Much stricter. There's Miss Cheryl. My 2nd grade teacher. I was just telling a story about you, Miss Cheryl. So when I went to school in 2nd grade, my 2nd grade teacher was very, very strict. I don't remember her name, Sister something. And she would walk up and down the rows with a ruler. This was back in the day when the teachers smacked you with a ruler. And I'll tell you what, if she'd have seen this, she'd be smacking me with a ruler. And I have a feeling that if Miss Cheryl was sitting next to me, she'd be smacking me with a ruler through the whole thing. And I'd have been tearing this thing out and starting over. She would not approve. Miss Cheryl would not approve of this block. So I am very happy that Miss Cheryl is not sitting next to me while I'm working on this block. And actually, to be honest, every block. There's just no give on these things. It's, yeah, that you can, the back definitely looks better than the front. But you definitely can tell the front is not the back. It looks terrible. It looks terrible. Cheryl would not approve. So I'm going to finish my 2 rows of border and call it good. Now, I'm sitting here looking at next week, which again, thankfully, Miss Cheryl has done she has done a sample for us. And I have a feeling that I am going to really, 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 well, and I know two things about myself at this point in time. I have to super pay attention, and I cannot be doing this when I'm tired. That's what ends up happening. I'm doing this stuff at 10 o'clock at night, the night before. I'm doing this at 10 o'clock at night on Saturday night, and I'm just making a bunch of mistakes. And okay. As of right now, next week is not as full. My calendar is not as full. Of course, I've said that before. And I finished my blocks for the Square Exchange for Miss Dana. I'm down to blocking them and then doing the ends. So, and I was really, really focusing on getting those done because, there's that deadline. And so I can make this more of a priority. I think I'll be okay this week. Plus, next week is our catch-up week. So that's going to help also. So this week is the lattices. This week is the lattices. It's called Lattice Crust. Oh, yeah, like on a pie. Oh, man. Isn't that pretty?
It is.
Boy, I'm really going to mess that one up. And for sure. I'm positive. And then next week is our catch-up week. No. So there will be no rulers. You're not going to be beating us with the ruler. And Miss Cheryl knows. I'm juggling a lot of balls right now. Miss Cheryl knows what I'm juggling. So she's giving me a little bit of a break right now because she knows what I'm juggling. We got some big, big things coming up. Speaking of big things coming up, Miss Cheryl and I are working on a project together that we are not ready to announce, but we're both actually we can talk about it because it's not a secret. We discussed it a couple of weeks ago. We talked about adding on to this. We weren't sure if anybody was doing this. And then after we talked about it in our sit and visit, we found out several people were doing this that just hadn't been talking about it. And that, you guys, that made me so happy. But in the meantime, Cheryl and I had kind of got our little heads together and decided to add on to this for those people who weren't participating, weren't interested in this. And so Miss Cheryl and I are putting together a make along of a shawl and wrap. Shawl wrap, because some people aren't calling what I'm doing a shawl. I still do. So she's doing a knit version. I'm doing a crochet version. It'll both run at the same time. So that's coming up in the next few weeks. I'm thinking probably, I was thinking next week, but I think it's going to be more like a month, probably beginning of May. So just about the time that we send off the blocks for Miss Dana's stuff, about the time that gets sent out, we'll be presenting the make along. Does that sound about right, Cheryl? That time frame? You'll be ready for on your end. I'll have my pattern written up and ready to go.
See the chickens dancing.
Oh, chickens are dancing on the TV. That looks more like pheasants. Yeah, beginning of May. That sounds about right. Right about May Day. We'll be ready to present our little project. So, and that way we'll have knit and crochet. So everybody will be able to participate. Anybody who wants to play will be able to participate. And will be happy for that. Happy Easter, everybody. I forgot it was Easter until I got up this morning. Oh, and maybe by then I'll be moved out. We should be moved out to the yarn bus by then, right?
Motorhome.
The motorhome.
Whenever you decide it's time.
Oh, it's got to be. I got to clean. We got to do some cleaning before I can get out there.
No, quit sitting there. Go.
Minimally, we got to open it up and air it out. So the motorhome is back. It's sitting outside, but it's been basically closed up for the last, all winter. It's been closed up for the last 5 months. And whoo, is it stinky? Yes, I've been banished. I've been banished to the motorhome. I'm very excited. So I get to move a bunch of my yarn out there. I'll have a space to sit out there and do my videos. And, we lived in there. So it has everything I need. It's going to be the onlyest thing, and I haven't tried it yet, because the only thing I have not tried out there yet is a connection for internet, but the house internet should reach there no problem. I just haven't sat out there. Did you play with your phone out there when you were playing? And the internet worked fine. So should be sweet.
Just got the egg.
But it needs a deep clean. And this afternoon I'm gonna go give it a good vacuum. Yeah, videos from the bus before. But it'll be even better because now I'll have the table set up for my videoing. I think before I was videoing from my couch. And so I'll have a little area at the table set up, and I'll have space for my yarn out there. And so all the yarn that's stacked up all over in my living room and all of this junk will be all out there. And I've got, we've got heat and we've got AC and I've got a refrigerator. And so, yeah, but I just got to spend a few days cleaning, and then it's going to be ready to go. No Texas. Yeah. See, the problem is it still has Texas dust in there, and I'm just about to the point where there's still some things in the cupboard. There's dishes and things like that because it is still set up to go camping, and I want to bring somebody in to literally deep clean, almost detail it. And it's not quite, I have to put the dishes and things in a box, take them out, have somebody come in and do that, and then take those things back into it. And I don't want to have my boxes of yarn and stuff out there when I have somebody do that. So I have to make arrangements for someone to do that. And literally it's just a point of making an appointment.
Peter Rabbit.
And have someone come out and do that. And then I'll move my stuff out. Because we opened that door the other day after it had been closed up for 4 months, and it just smelled like dog. And it never even smelled like that when we were in it. And but having been closed up all winter, because it's never closed up like that. When it's out here, we're always going in and out of it, doing this, that, and the other thing. So yeah, it needs to be aired out and really cleaned well and Febrezed. And but we've already washed all the bedding because we've taken it places since we've been home. We took it to the Yarny Social last year. So
that's when it broke down.
That's why we had to take it into the shop, because we got home and we couldn't put it in reverse. So that's why it ended up having to go to the shop. So that's going to be, a lot of this stuff that is here is going to be out there, and you guys can't see. And I don't know if I dare to show you, but from here forward is all boxes of yarn stuff, and all over there is boxes of yarn stuff. And so that'll all go out to the motorhome, and then that's going to open this area up in here so much for everybody. And it's not like junk. It's this is all the stuff I use. So it's, I've got this yarn bag and this yarn bag, and you guys know when I show you something, I reach over and I grab a yarn bag and I show you. And over there it's boxes. It's like this project and it's in a box, and that project that's in a box. It's like future projects. So, now the yarn that's in my room that you guys saw the other day that's on the shelf, that's not going to go out there. But Miss Cheryl and I, the project that you and I know about, some of that's going to get moved out to the other project. And then I have stuff out in the shed that is going to get sorted through. And some of the stuff that's in Miss Morgan's room may go out to the yarn bus. I'm not sure. What is all that? Is that like a sprinkler? Oh, it's a sprinkler. Yeah. He's got this thing on the TV, and it's like it's called Dishscapes, and it's like scenery. And right now it's a farm scene. It's just interesting. So he plays that while because it can be on the TV without
Easter eggs a little bit ago.
It can be on the TV without background being a problem while I'm videoing. Good morning. I can't see that name. Is it Chandler? Chandler. Good morning, Chandler. So a lot going on in my world, but Miss Morgan also wants to go camping, and but I told her we got to clean it up. Got to clean and even though I want to turn that into sort of a craft room, it still has to be available for us to take it on a little camping jaunts, which it will be. So going to finish this up, get my last 2 rows of knitting, and I think it's just knit. Then I'll do my rounds of crochet, and then this one's done, and then we're going to start the lattice, and I have my instructions for that right here. Yay. And then we have our catch-up week. Good morning, Mama Sue. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to all the littles. Look, I have a little chocolate Easter bunny. Mister got me this on my birthday, which, was just last weekend. So he got me that, and he's pretty shocked that it's still there. Chocolate that's still there. I was saving it for today. And so, yes, it is confirmed that bingo is coming back. I had a lot to figure out. But I've got some things finalized, and it'll probably be about a month. It'll be about another month. We've got some big changes coming. Not necessarily big changes to the channel, but definitely big changes that you're going to see on the channel. So good changes. I hope good changes. And so, but a lot of work for me, a lot of things that I've got to get in place and get going on. And thankfully, Cheryl, I've drug her along with me, kicking and screaming. No, Cheryl has been a lifesaver to me, and I can't thank her enough for even if it's just, it is more, it has been much more, but sometimes just having someone to bounce things off of and go, okay, am I seeing this right? Am I understanding this? And poor thing, it's middle of the night for her. It's 3 in the freaking morning is some ridiculous thing for her. And she's always available for me with my ridiculous ideas. And I get stuck on something and I have messed something up, and she's always right there figuring it out for me and helping me to understand what I have messed up. And I cannot thank you enough, Cheryl. I cannot thank you enough. And all of you guys, I can't tell you how many times I have gotten stuck on something and somebody somewhere has gone, look, ding dong, you're making it harder than it needs to be. Just do this. And see, it's only 1 o'clock in the morning for Cheryl. So I am so happy that you guys are part of my world, and always willing to be drug along with whatever I've come up with. But so this is this week's block, and I've mucked it up And I definitely like the back better than the front. So you're not going to see the ribs so much. Those are the ribs and they look terrible. So you're only going to see the blocks on the front of mine. But no, again, nobody's going to know the front from the back. And as soon as I get the border done, the sizing will be correct. And then I'll get started on that other one. Again, I cannot knit these things. And Pinky Jean was saying there's a lot of counting on the next one. And I also know, see, this is kind of what I do. I have, when I'm doing these, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I do is I take like a clip or something and move it down, and I still get off on my rows. So I think I'm literally going to have to do a clicker or write out my row numbers and cross them off as I do them. Because I can tell by this other design, there is no possible way you're going to be able to fudge that design. There is just no way you're going to be able to fudge that design. It has to be right. So I'm going to have to do some way of just marking those rows off. And just looking at it, I bet it's like, do this row twice, then do this row twice, and that's where I get mixed up. And I'm going to have to stay on track to get those done right. It would be nice if I had one block that didn't have a glaring error right in the middle of it. What color is my next block? It is gray, which means I have to change my needle size too, because my gray ones are the other yarn. And so I have to go down in needle size because they knit loose. That's going to be pretty though. It's going to be pretty. So did anybody have problems with this one? Or am I the only one that got off on it? That got off on my count. 2 more rows. 2 more rows and I'm done with this one. Well, 2 more knit rows and then I do my crochet border. I'm sure glad that Pinky came up with that, because I'm doing the exact crochet border that she's doing. The exact one. I think the hook that I used is a little big. I should have gone down a little bit on my size. Like probably one size lower. But I think I literally just grabbed the closest one. Or maybe, yeah, pencil tally marks. Yeah. That's what I'm going to have to do. Something like that, because even with the little clip next to it is not keeping. I don't think I need that for this. I only have one more row after this one. What hook size did I do? Yeah, my hook size is 1 row bigger than my knitting needle size, and you can tell it's a little big. So I must have just grabbed whatever was handy. And I probably should have maybe even gone down 1 size. But ask me if I care. Not even a little. So that's pretty much it. We've used the clip. Oh, yeah. Good idea. Good idea. You guys should pop over and watch Miss Pinky Jean's little video. I think it's only 5 minutes long. And she's got some really interesting knitting history in it. Talks about the history of knitting and how long it's been a thing. And it's pretty interesting. Her videos are really cute. She does a lot of research in her stuff. And they're fun to watch. They're not terribly long. They're usually only no more than 5 or 10 minutes. So they're fun to watch. And then let's see, here it's 8 o'clock. So in about an hour, we're going to come back in here and we are going to do our stitch and visit. So I think Miss Amber is going to come up after she hangs out, after they finish, the Easter Bunny finishes I think their Easter bunny just popped over there. They're doing their Easter egg hunt right now. And so after they're done with their Easter egg hunt, she's going to pop in. And her mom's back home, so that's good. They had another trip to the emergency room this morning. That's never good. But so that's kind of it. Finish this week. Start the lattice crust for next week, and then we've got our catch-up week. And it sounds like everybody's, even Miss Pinky, who's usually a week ahead, is ready for the catch-up week. And that's why we built it in. That is why we built it in, so that you can have a chance to do that. And a chance to get your borders done and get your things blocked and hooked together, which even I'm behind on that. So I am definitely ready for my catch-up week. Okay, here, now we're going to cast this thing off. Apparently in UK terms, it isn't cast off, it's knit off, right? Is that right, Cheryl? Let's see here. My first one. You guys can see how clunky I do this. I don't even know if I'm doing it right. But it's done. It's off when I'm done. So you see how funny I hold my yarn? It's some weird combination that I made up. People, the knitting teachers look at me and they're just like, cast off in the UK, bind off in the US. Okay. It's because I hold my yarn weird, because it's some combination of crochet, holding it like crochet and holding it like knit. I don't care. You may notice that I don't care. I don't follow the rules very much. I figure as long as it's done, that's all that matters. It's not very fluid. It's not very pretty. And I think that is why I get along so well with this knitting teacher that I'm going to now, because she is not a stickler for tradition. She is not a stickler for you're doing it wrong. She's more, as long as it works for you, go for it. She wants my stitches right, but she's not too worried about things like how I hold my yarn, and she'll show me an easier way to do things, but stuff that doesn't matter, she doesn't care. So, and I think that's part of why we get along so well. They're still really doing a ton of work. If you guys get a chance, go to, I think it's on their Facebook page too. It's Paradise Fibers. It's on their Facebook page, and you can see all of the work they're doing, getting cleaned up from the fire. There's some videos in there, Paradise Fibers, or you can look up, I think, I was going to say you could look up paradisefibers.com, but because that's their website, but they don't have much in there about the fire. But on Facebook, if you go paradisefibers.com, there's videos in there about the fire. Oh, it just makes you sick. It shows all of the inside of the shop, and the just bags and bags and bags of, the big black garbage bags, the shelves empty, and just garbage bags everywhere, full of yarn. And you can tell all the damage to the shelves and the damage. They've got places where the ceilings were busted through, and the walls were busted through. The guys, whoever set the place on fire broke into the place and just caused a bunch of damage too. So I don't know what they thought they were going to get breaking into a yarn store. But boy, did they cause a lot of damage. And it was last week of February. The last week of February. So they've been shut down a month now. So they've been without income for a month. And those workers, all the workers, and they're still in there working and cleaning, and they've got no income coming in. Hey, Miss Mary, did you get your block done this week? This is mine. I'm casting off. I finished the majority of it 11 o'clock last night. I've promised myself this week is not going to be like that. So I'm casting off right now, binding off whatever it is I'm doing. And then I'll do my crochet border. Oh, look at you. She's making a second one. What do you mean your second one? You're making 2 of them? Or are you working on next week's? I'm going to start next week's. See, I say this afternoon, and I might start it this evening because I really do want to go outside and work. I want to get started cleaning on the motorhome. I want to. Now, see, Mr. went outside, so I'll bet you that he, oh, you're making 2 blocks to make it bigger where I'm doing the crocheted border to make it bigger. Okay. I bet you he took the, I bet you he's out there wiping things down. Yep. You definitely can tell when I start the night before because they ends up looking like this. And I'm going to have to grab something to work on for during our stitching visit because I don't like, I've got a lot of ends to weave in, but I don't like weaving in ends before I block. I guess if I do a really loose weave, I've got a lot of ends to weave in on those blocks. But I don't like to weave in my ends before I block stuff because I feel like it constricts it when I'm, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Done. Now I got to do my crochet. I can crochet and talk. I can do that. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. But what I'm talking about, Mary, is I finished all the blocks for the block exchange, for Dana's block exchange. And so I have to block all of them. I finished the squares. I need to block them. And I don't want to sew my ends in till after I block them because, you know, it could pucker. But I do have, and see, these need to be blocked too before I sew them together. But I can crochet this. Yeah, there won't be a right or a wrong side. But I gotta take my good stitch marker out of this and put one of my not great ones in. Not fancy one, I mean, should say. I can definitely cast on. I can definitely do the border while we talk. So we will be back here in an hour, in just over an hour, for our sit and visit. And there she is. She's done. Ta-da-da. It still looks small. It's just got to be because I'm used to seeing it when I've got the border on it. Did you get any eggs? It's a little wide, 6.5 wide.
No, that is where I went.
And 5 3/4 long. So but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I went out to the
Yep. And I have an order for one of these to get sent out today. And she ordered some earrings also. And so the earrings are on that stand-up rack. So I have to get the covers off and find the earrings that she wants. She ordered 4 pairs of earrings, and I know I sold one, but the other 3 should be out there. And so I have to find the earrings and get that order packed up, ready to go. And then, what's her name? Llama in pajamas. Her order, I have one more little thing to do with that because I wanted to make sure she knew. She ordered 1 stitch marker of each of, remember I had the flower of the month earrings, and she ordered 1 stitch marker from each of the flowers. Well, June's flower was black and all the other ones were silver. And I wanted to double make sure that she realized that June's was black. And I did hear back from her and she was okay with that. And because I did have an order coming with the silver on that. And so I wanted to make sure she didn't want to wait. And she said, no, go ahead and send it. So then I've got that ready to get packed up. So I've got some orders that I need to get packed up and sent out. So I'll get those ready to go in the mail this afternoon. So that's pretty much my day. Get a couple of orders out in the mail and get to cleaning on that motorhome and see if I can find someone to come out and do a deep clean. I have 2 different people that I can call and go from there. All right. So let's take a break. Get your project figured out that we're going to work on for our stitch and visit. Miss Amber's going to join us. And we'll see you guys back. I do have it set up. So the link should be there for it. And so I will see you guys it's 9:00 my time. So just about 45 minutes. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye. So don't forget, next week, finish this one for this week. And I think I'll be working on my crochet border while we talk. And then next week is the Lattice Crust pattern. Ooh. So we've got row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then row 8, we repeat row 6. And row 9, we repeat row 1. And then we repeat rows 2 through 9 until we're finished. Yeah, this is going to be, we're going to pay attention. Yeah, tick marks next to the row we're on. I think you're right, Cheryl. I think that's going to be, and actually that might be easier for me because it's going back and forth is when I lose track of where I'm at. All right. All right, we'll see you guys in a little while. See you in a few minutes for our stitch and visit. Bye. Yeah, highlight the row you're on. Yeah, with some of that clear tape, that's what I need to find. I've got it somewhere. See you in a bit, Cheryl. or you can go to bed. Either or. Love you guys. Bye-bye.